did you want to talk to Phil, did you want to talk to Lisa Tom? Yes. I'll reset it. I'll let maybe I reset it. Your counsel will talk to you. That's very good. I believe he had filed a request for appointment of an attorney. Is that correct?
Well, I'd like to stand by counsel. Someone to assist me with legal procedural matters.
Okay. Sure. I don't have any, I think, problem with that. We have the attorney from our public defender's office. I don't think I'm standing by counsel. I'm required to do an indigent finding. I don't stand by counsel. So I will go ahead and appoint standby counsel. Do an opportunity to consult with them before we go any further on any of your other.
Well, I had a request for a continuance as well and a motion for a change of venue. I'm set for trial for the 21st on this cause. It conflicts with the case I have up at Superior Court 1 on a supplemental hearing. And personally, I need a little more time to prepare for this trial. And the reason I requested a change of venue is due to I filed in 1983 against you.
You don't get a change of venue just because you threatened to file a lawsuit.
No, I'm not saying I'm threatening. I'm saying that's why I'm requesting it, that and due to the fact that I don't fear that you're being fair.
All I've done is follow the law. I quoted to you in my documents Rule 22 and the statute. All I've done is follow Indiana law. Okay. How is that a violation of your civil rights by following the law? You don't get a change of venue from the judge just because you file a lawsuit. I've been on the bench 29 years. I have been sued previously. I have been sued with George Bush president. I have been sued with Evan Bayh. I have been sued with every member of the Court of Appeals. I have been sued with every member of the Disciplinary Commission. Criminal defendants have tried these things over 29 years.
And if you give me a chance to explain, I'll tell you how.
And there is no reason in the law, just because you threaten to file a suit someplace, that I have to recuse myself.
Can I tell you why I feel that way, or?
Go ahead and tell me why you feel that way.
In this motion here, okay, you stated last time I was in court on the record in one of your rulings that you would hold me to the same stringent standard as a bar licensed attorney.
And that's what the law requires.
The United States Supreme Court law, Hines versus Kerner, dictates that statement.
Indiana law says I have to do what I said.
Okay. And also, I feel that's biased and
misinterpreted the court's decision, sir.
I've read it quite clearly, and I mean,
and you have misinterpreted it.
This is not the first time that I've done this.
And this is not the first time I've done this.
Okay, so I feel that there is a difference there. So
I would reject, if you were actually an attorney, I would reject every one of these pleadings. I have not done that. Every single one of these pleadings, just for the grammatical errors, or the spelling errors. I can't even fathom what you're trying to talk about. There's so many spelling errors, simple spelling errors. If you were an attorney, I would have already have rejected all of these documents.
Well, I use a word program that tells me that it's spelled right.
Well, sir, then I suggest you find something different, because your spelling, they're elementary errors in spelling.
And this is why I'm requesting a change of venue. Your demeanor towards me like that, I mean, that's
it's denied.
Okay.
Anything else? Continuance denied. Standby counsel appointed.
So I can't have, I also have, well, what am I supposed to do about the case that I have in Superior Court 1?
I have no idea. I have not been to Superior Court 1. You have a criminal case here.
Okay, I have a conflict. I can't have it common courtesy to have a continuance to be allowed to be put more time to prepare for this case, on top of the fact that I have another case in another courtroom. You grant continuances for other officers of the court all the time. It's a common practice.
There's nothing more to say after I've denied the request for continuance. Is there any other issues?
I would like to object to that on the record.
Fine. Is there any other issues that need to be addressed?
I would also like to know, since I only have a week to prepare now for trial, I'd like for the record, could you at least advise me as to what jurisdiction I'm under in this court?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You've
been served with a summons, you've had initial hearings, you've had all the requirements of the law, you had your initial before the magistrate.
Right, and I've never been advised of my rights neither.
The record from those magistrates, I didn't do to conduct the initial hearing. The magistrate did. I'm sure there's a record in this court of what occurred. And I was never advised, and to this day, I have never been advised of my rights.
Your Honor, I'm very careful, okay? There's an advisement of rights form with your handwriting all over it. So, be careful what you're saying.
I don't know if I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah, but I've seen it. There's an advisement.
I know everybody else has the rights read to them. Okay? Obviously, I can't spell. I got a 6th grade education. Spent from the time I was 16 to 22 in prison.
That's why you're so ill-advised to represent yourself. I've represented one of numerous times. And I reassert that. You put yourself at great risk without having an attorney represent you. You have demonstrated pretty clearly, pretty convincingly, that you're not up to the task of representing yourself. I think that's clear from the judge's point of view. You wish to exercise that right, you have that right to do that. But you cannot later claim incompetent counsel for yourself if you get convicted. The case law is concerned about that. I would, again, advise you. You have demonstrated your lack of understanding of the legal system. I would advise you to have an attorney. I would certainly be happy to examine you if you qualify for a public defender to represent you.
Right, and I mean,
you want to represent yourself, you have that right.
Okay, with me just being appointed standby counsel, I need to do a deposition in order to. I've never done any of what I've looked up online. I have never done any of these aspects of this charge against me. I need standby assistance of counsel to explain to me.
This is March 2013.
And I thought I was charged with a charge that didn't even exist.
October 24, 2012.
I never seen
on the first motion to dismiss. I believe at the end of that order, that was a October 24, 2012. I issued a 5-page order setting the March 21st trial date. So October, November, December, January, February, March. That's 5 months we've had to prepare. And it's not untypical for criminal defendants to ask for continuance at the last minute. But you have shown me no merit why I should continue that. So, no continuances again.
How am I supposed to consult with this standby counsel?
You just asked for it today, and I've just appointed it. You waited until today to ask for it. Not my fault you waited so long.
May I? Okay. Now, what I have proposed, and we would finish this conversation, but it has already come out that Mr. Hayes' criminal charges based on is things that were said and done to the purpose of that. That was authority. What I have proposed is to submit a stipulated submission to court transcript for those hearings. And effectively stipulate to the underlying facts what, as I understand what Mr. Hayes is interested in, is a legal debate rather than a factual debate. Would you agree that you don't dispute what went on in court?
I dispute all these this charge right here, I've never done none of these elements of this crime. I have never done none of that.
But how the law applies to what happened.
I mean, I'm not disputing how the law applies. I'm disputing that I've never done this. I have never professed to be a practicing attorney. I've never conducted a trial in a case of Indiana other than one for myself. And I have never engaged in the business of a practicing lawyer. I've never done none of them. That's what I'm disputing. Now, whether I've done that properly or not, I don't know. I'm a tattoo artist. I'm an artist. I draw. I paint. I'm not a lawyer. The only time I've ever defended myself is when I have had no choice in this situation where somebody has dragged me into court alleging that I've done something wrong.
Your contention is that this law does not apply to what you did in Superior Court 5.
No, I'm not saying this law. I never did none of this stuff in Superior Court 5.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why what I proposed was let the judge see the court transcript. And rather than having a trial, we would be having, it would be basically making close.
No, I still want to call witnesses because if you're saying that I represented my wife, I'd like to call my wife to testify as to the fact whether or not I represented her in that trial. I would not agree to that. I would like to call a witness to, and I was trying to figure out how I filed this subpoena. I know I can't ask you for advice, but I have a subpoena. I don't even know how to submit this to you. And I don't know how this works because it's for the state of Indiana. I don't know how I subpoena the state in the court, but the state is saying that I did this, and I would like to ask the state when I did this, who I represented, and how I represented this, and what business I have that another lawyer has.
Obviously, I'll just confirm that.
I mean, how can I have the name of who the standby counsel would be so I can have a chance to consult with them? Will I have a chance to consult with them before the actual trial date?
I hope so. This is their contact information. Out the courtroom door up the rack.
Can I just tell them that you just assigned me standby counsel and really consult with one of them?
They've got to sign the attorney. I don't.
Right, I know that. I know that. That's why I figured I could be granted a continuance. Well, I mean, I thought that I had more understanding of these. I mean, I've done this in 2 states successfully, and I've never had these problems or these issues. Never.
So we right now. In terms of the state's evidence next week, would you agree to submitting the court transcript?
No, I wouldn't. No, I would not. No, I wouldn't agree. I mean, you're waging war against. I would not agree to anything that you wanted to do on the record. You're dragging me into court every day. I was called here at 8:30. It's now 12 o'clock. My kids, the contingent means to put me out. My kids got a 2-hour drive. How are they supposed to be here at 8:30? I got 3 kids in here. I really look at this like war, man. When I heard about it, when somebody comes to the court and waging war against your person, I mean, not my person, not the person against you. When did I do this, man? When? Even in the transcript, it says if I did agree to it. When did I do that? I never done that.
Well, you kept referring to your wife as your client.
But I never represented her in a trial. Maybe I had attempted to. I was escorted out of court. I never represented nobody. Had they let me, then yeah, I would have.
Okay. I expect that the judge will find that a motion hearing or any court hearing falls under the term trial for purposes of statute.
Right. Well, I was never allowed to say nothing.
And if you look at the case law for that third subsection,
If you look at
let me finish. Engaging in the business of an attorney, don't have to take money to engage in the business of an attorney. The case law says merely representing or attempting to represent or even attempting to advise someone in a lawyer capacity constitutes engaging in the business.
She's my wife. I'm allowed to give her any advice I want.
You most certainly are, but when you're in court and you say she's my client, and when you're in court and you shout out objections from the back, you're acting as if you're an attorney.
Can object to anything.
False. It's just false. You can't sit here and object during other people's hearings.
I'm saying it's a public hearing. If I don't agree with it or if I think it's unfair, why couldn't?
Because you don't represent
what
them.
law says you can't do that?
Well, you can, and the judge will find you in contempt.
Right.
I guess technically you should. You can shout out whatever you want in court, and as you've learned, that will be called in contempt.
But what law says that you can't do that? Okay, she's my wife, though. I have a legal interest. If I'm the sole provider for her, how do I not? And canon rule 2.6 or 3.1 specifically states judges have to hear everyone that has a legal interest in a case.
Canon law is not the governing law. Now think back to our conversation with
what the fuck is the point in having a canon law for Indiana? Why can't I look up what these canon laws are if they don't govern? Why won't the judge tell me? No, it's not.
What are you referring to?
It refers to judges. The rules of what judges have to go by. It's canon law. The canon just means rules or law.
Okay, well, in any event, if you want to get involved like that, there are procedural ways to do so. You have to file you have to interplead or be in.
Okay, well, he's not. Okay, I know Hines versus Kern. I know I'm interpreting. Come on, man. I beat a life sentence in Michigan. Okay, they tried to give me life. Not no year. They tried to give me life. Michigan State Police tried to falsify DNA evidence against me.
All right, stop with that. I'm aware of the problem that happened with DNA, okay?
What? No, they did try to. When I asked for them to test it again, they couldn't find it. They never gave no results.
And that's not relevant. If you think back to when we were down in circuit court and we were talking with Mr. Bertha, what he said is just like when she wanted a jury trial for her.
So you keep telling me there's only one type of jurisdiction, man. Why won't he tell me what type of jurisdiction I'm under? Why? How come every court is a member of the United States Marines? Why won't he?
That is made up. That is.
You want to see the pictures I have on my computer? You want me to take you to Superior Court 5? You want me to show the insignias in Superior Court 1?
They're not Marine Corps.
Okay,
remember what we just talked about earlier about misquoting case law? If you are picking this stuff up on the internet, I'm guessing that's nonsense.
So you're telling me this is not a rural court? He doesn't have admiralty jurisdiction?
He does not have maritime jurisdiction. Those are special courts. Those are federal courts. Those are elsewhere.
So this is not one of them. No. So I can only be under common law jurisdiction in this courtroom?
No, that's not how it works.
What, I'm under general jurisdiction?
You're under the jurisdiction of the laws of Indiana.
Okay. No, I'm not, because the Constitution has no special thing in it saying when I have to request a jury trial. And you mean to tell me because I requested a jury trial 2 days late on a charge that don't even fucking exist? Come on, man, I was charged with practicing law without a license. I looked up the charge. It don't exist. Why would I need anything for that charge, man? Why would I need to even present a defense against it? It don't exist. It's not on the books. And now he's going to tell me, well, you advised this. Come on, man, I didn't even know what I was representing myself against until you admitted it in court. The charge. I didn't know what I was representing myself against.
You knew what the statute was.
Yeah.
You had looked it up.
And this is
wrong name on it.
And okay, and that's not a deceiving practice.
No, because you were able to find it. You knew where it was.
Yeah, okay, and it's okay, but I'm charged with practicing law without a license. Okay, and if that's not the charge, that's okay. Why do I have to defend myself against that? It's not a charge. If that's not a charge,
that's the charge right there.
Okay, but that's not what I was charged with. And if that's not what's on the information charging, how come I have to defend myself against an information charging that don't exist?
Well, the right code section was on there. So you were able to find it.
It don't matter. You had to charge me with the proper charge. Come on, man. You're a licensed lawyer. If he's telling me, right?
You understand that?
Right. Well, I'm speaking. When I say that, you're an agent for the prosecuting attorney. When I say Curtis Silver, you're his agent. You work for the prosecuting, so you're going to take heat for anything that office does.
There's little errors on charges.
Okay, this man just told me if I was a lawyer, he would throw my motions out based on improper spelling. You mean to tell me So he would throw my motions out for improper spelling, and then you know what? I'm amending my 1983 now. Because he just said on the record he would throw my motions out for misspelling. But you, not per se you, someone from your office put the wrong charge on the information charging, and he didn't throw that out.
He moved to correct it.
When? Okay, and I just...
stand in that court. I made a motion to correct it, which he granted.
And how am I supposed to understand that as a simple layman?
Well, you're trying to play both sides here. You want to follow a paperwork. You want to represent yourself. You want to represent...
Because I know a lawyer's not going to protect my interests. Look at my last case. I filed complaints on 4 public defenders, man. My last case, the best deal they could have got me was 20 years. How come when I represented myself, man, I got myself 8 fucking years?
I'm aware of that.
And no lawyer. How come no lawyer brought me nothing less than 20? You think I'm going to use a lawyer on this? It's better for me to do it myself. Apparently, with my experience.
Okay. That's fine if you feel that way, but we're just going in circles.
Well, I mean, I'm giving you examples. This is why I'm saying this. You're saying, oh, you guys are so fair and so just. No, man, you're not. And you charged me improperly. How do I know that wasn't to deceive me, to make me think, oh, he's going to think he's got this case beat? You know what I told David Gizzy in my interview? You got a copy of it. I'll file a written demand for jury trial. You knew I was going to request a jury trial. I told him that back in April.
You didn't do it. Jury office is not sorry about that.
I'm not going to make it my mortgage. But you knew I was going to do that.
But knowing and doing it are
you just tell me hindsight is not applicable.
I saw the law, and it says that in written submission that the judge is to grant some,
And not when we do the bench,
but when it comes to rules and deadlines, that is different than what's in that case.
Under the laws of Indiana, these IC codes, they're not laws. You mean to tell me that's a law?
Why is that not a law?
Okay, so tell me how come every time I read a case from the Supreme Court of Indiana and Indiana Appeals Court, and someone challenges the Constitution or the law, how come the IC code goes up against the Constitution to find out whether or not it's constitutional? So if that was a law, it's not a law, it's an IC code, it's codified rules, that's what it is, it's the Indiana code.
Right.
But it's not a law, the Constitution is a law, right or wrong.
The Constitution also, just like the United States Constitution, the Constitution grants additional authority to the legislature to pass other laws.
Explain this to me then. Okay, how come they say no ignorance of the law is no excuse? But there's over 80,000 codes and statutes in the state of Indiana alone. You mean to tell me the layman, me, someone that does tattoos and don't even read or write, is expected to know all 80,000 codes and statutes? No, I'm expected to know the Constitution.
Okay, that's not what applies here.
How is that not what applies here? How does that work?
Well, I know you should because you submit a lot of written material. Don't some things correctly.
And that's the computer's fault. If it says it's spelled correctly, man, it puts a red line under it. That's not my fault.
I'm not doing that.
When I click it, it says corrected. You know what I mean?
Things, first of all, when you put things in all caps, it doesn't autocorrect.
Oh, is that okay? So, okay. Well, first of all, when you put things in all caps, can you explain this shit to me? Capitis diminutus maximus. Can you explain that to me? Why is my name in all caps? Why? Why is the state name in all caps?
That's not. Now you're getting more like make-believe stuff on the internet.
That's make-believe, huh? Well, how come it's in my legal dictionary? I got Black's Law Dictionary, 7th edition. I mean, I submitted it for evidence. If it's make-believe, why is it in Black's Law Dictionary? Is not Black's Law Dictionary the governing dictionary for legal?
Nothing that's kind of saying where you're going with this being in all caps.
Well, you know what? I'm a layman. I'm not a lawyer. I didn't go to school. These are the sources I have to learn this stuff. Okay? So if that's what I'm learning and this is where I'm learning it from, okay. Now, I got Black's Law. I know Black's Law Dictionary is legitimate in any court of law. I know it is. I know I can read that good. And it's the governing body. That's what they all go to. Supreme Court refers to it.
Sure.
Okay? Now, I know that there's a difference between a state citizen and a U.S. citizen. Now, is that some make-believe stuff, too?
There are differences, yeah.
Okay, I know because I got the case law. I read them. The United States Supreme Court has clearly ruled. Now, how come when they go in there, now, they didn't even ask me that. This hearing didn't even technically exist today. Who was in there? Who? What did I say? When did I swear to tell the truth? This hearing don't even exist.
You didn't testify. Well, I mean, they only swear you in when you're testifying.
Okay, but I mean, he didn't ask me my name. He didn't say nothing for the record. I mean, is there even a record being generated of this?
Sure. It's all referred.
Okay, I mean, tell me how he is not biased. I know I'm not making that up. That man is biased towards me. Okay? When he's biased that I'm trying to represent myself, he won't let me appoint another officer of the court so that they can have continuous do whatever. Man, Mark Doty walked in his office this morning. He said, file a continuance. You mean to tell me because I got another, what am I supposed to do? Now I got to go to Superior Court 1. I got to request a continuance on somebody owes me $6,800. Don't want to pay me my money.
He denies lawyers' requests all the time.
Right, but I don't have just cause. I need more time to prepare for a trial, a layman, and I have another case in the same courthouse as his.
Which we just agreed earlier, the review hearing in a case that you've long since won. And it's not really for you, it's for whoever it is, your ex-wife or whatever. No, it's for me. Who do you think won that lawsuit? You think my wife said... You're not being reviewed for compliance.
No, I'm not being reviewed. She's being reviewed to make sure she's been paying me.
Yes, exactly.
Because I'm trying to make her give me my damn money she's got.
Right. Well, in any event, you can, like I said, you can have that continue, or you can just walk up and down the ramp.
I don't know when it's going to be.
Then,
I mean, I'm supposed to be here at 8:30 this morning when I just had court. Hell, he called the people in jail phone calls.
We are the only thing that's said next year.
Right, well, yeah, it's a trial date. You know what I mean? But, I got to go up here and file a minute sheet. I got to go to the clerk's office anyway and file a minute sheet and request a continuance on that. My wife don't know what to say when she goes to court. Why do you think I'm in here?
So, you're not asking for a continuance on that one.
Yeah. And then that's to help her out. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, man. I mean, and how do I subpoena the state? The state's bringing me into court. There's nobody. Why ain't you calling my wife for it? Why ain't you calling my wife to testify and say, hey, did he represent you? Because I didn't. You can't. If it's her opinion, it's not relevant. It's not her opinion. It's a fact. Did I ever represent you in court? It's going to be yes or no.
I don't speak to that.
Why ain't she? She was there.
You were there speaking.
Was I allowed to represent you? Do I need to rephrase the question? Was I allowed to represent? I wasn't even allowed to represent her. So if I wasn't allowed, Judge Charles Wicks actually protected me.
Yeah, you weren't allowed to represent her only after you tried to represent her.
Okay, but this does not say if we try to engage in the practice of law. This says Professor DeVee conducts the trial or engages in the business of the practice of law. It doesn't say if I try to. Sure. And I believe that my wife, marital debt, community property, I've looked at the terms, I submitted the terms. If me and my wife, how do I not have a legal interest in that case?
That's a different argument. That's a legal argument with the judge. You are welcome to do so.
I'm saying you're a lawyer, man. I mean, if you
there are ways to get involved. You interplead, or your wife has you interpleaded. There are procedural ways to get that done. You can't just show up in court and say, "Oh, I'm in this case too." That won't work.
Well, my name is on paper. You know what I mean? And I mean, if you say governed by you can let Rodney practice law and then sit on the bench. Go ahead.
Don't do that. All right.
But it's nowhere in the Constitution.
Nor is it in there that...
Yeah, it is. It specifically says
city court judges are not courts of record, and the rules don't apply to them.
So you mean my judgment from that D&L, which I ain't never got to pay it, it's not a court of record?
You can pay it. They still bind you.
No.
You're going to pay your D&R fine?
No. For what? I wasn't given a fair trial there.
Get a warrant if you further arrest.
Hopefully I'll be off parole and I'll be out of the state.
You want me to take care of that stuff?
I'll grab it.
I've closed it, but you still have to take it.
All right, I'll go grab it.
I just don't understand.
It looks like the best place that has 606. All right.
I don't see how you can drag me to trial, man, and say that I did any of this when I didn't do none of this, man. And you know, man, that's not justice, man. You can tell me what you want to tell me, but when you think about it, I don't know what type of person you are. But if I don't know if you're married, somebody says your wife in court, I didn't owe him nothing. She didn't owe him nothing. All I wanted to do is see what the bill is. Literally, we didn't owe that corporation nothing. Nothing.